Welcome, Cubs. Have a seat by the fire and get comfortable because we're going to be here for a bit. Tonight, I'm going to tell you a tale about some of those chosen by Gaia to be her protectors, born of man, wolf, or other, but all bathed in Luna's light. Tasked by Gaia with defending her and gifted with slivers of Luna's rage, these chosen ones can take the forms of man, wolf, or things in between. Called werewolves by men, these warriors call themselves Garu. But as usual, I'm getting far ahead of myself. Before we get into the story, we need to take care of a little bit of sept business. And by we, I don't mean the royal we. I mean we, as in the wonderful people you see before you, because we are Vorpal Tales. We play terrifying tales and awesome adventures every day of the week. We feature a little bit of everything, including They Came From Beyond the Grave, Mage of the Awakening, Alien, Ravenloft, and even those nasty blood-sucking leeches. Be sure to check out our website, vorpaltales.com, to see our complete schedule, recaps of the week's shows, links to our social media, such as YouTube for past archives of shows, our new podcast, and Patreon, just in case you wanted to show your support monetarily, or go check out our new merch. Be sure to click follow on Twitch so you can get notified of new shows. And if you check out the YouTube archive, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell there as well. Special thanks to Onyx Path Publishing and White Wolf for gifting us the World of Darkness and all the support that they offer. To Astral Tabletop for the awesome virtual space we use to play all of our games. And to Nate Mid from right here at Vorpal Tales for our custom Astral Tabletop character sheets that you all can use to play your own games on Astral Tabletop. Vorpal Tales is always looking to give back to the various groups that we represent. Let us tell you a little bit about the fantastic group we've chosen this time to support for the month of July. You might be wondering why Vorpal Tales pick Love Your Rebellion for this month's charity. Well, Love Your Rebellion is a nonprofit whose mission we believe in because they employ, discover, assist, and empower minority communities. Those that self-identify as women, immigrants, people of color, and people with disabilities are all included and uplifted through LYR. This is done through music, art, poetry, and literature, promotion, and publication. Attending or taking part in events put on by LYR is an opportunity to connect with who you are, celebrating pride in your identities, supporting intersectionality, learning, and awareness across the communities in our beautiful diversity. LYR is obviously putting in the work to better the world and their community, so Vorpal Tales is doing their small part to help them out. All of July, we'll be taking donations for LYR, and 100% of the funds collected will go to empowering diversity. LY is a group that Vorpal Tales is close to in real life. They are fantastic people who do amazing work. We also have a slew of rewards you can buy and a pile of fun things our crew will do as we reach milestones. I believe we are about $35 away from the final one, so please be sure to check them out in the link that will be showing up in chat momentarily. Rewards and milestones are available during all live plays played on the Vorpal Tales Switch all month long, but I think this is the last one.
It is.
If you're wanting to donate, do so now. Now that all that is out of the way, allow me to introduce myself. I am the Torin, and I will be your host, guide, and tale spinner for the evening as we tell a tale of awesome adventure in the world of Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition. Now, Cubs, please tell us a little about yourself and the character you are playing tonight.
I'm first, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
I am Dwayne. At Made of Kimchi on the Internet. Tonight I will be playing Linda, the Philodox child of Gaia. Before I go, I will only want to add on to what Jason has said about the charity to this month. And all of us here at Vorpal Tales just want to show our extreme thanks for everyone who has donated, and this being the very last game of the month. Make sure that you guys do get in those last wanted chaos donations, because this will be the last game. You know, we originally started at 250 as our original goal, and you guys have brought us all the way up past 3,000. So it is very awesome, and we would all like to thank you all so very much.
I am Zachary Naldra, he, him. I can be found on the Bird app at Zach Rules. Tonight I am playing Breaker of Chains, the Galliard Lupus Bonar, who's not very happy right now.
Hello, my name is Ray Alexa, they, them pronouns. I am playing Sage Lavat, also they, them pronouns. Your Hamid, child of Gaia Thurge.
And last but certainly not least, I say this for myself. I am John, otherwise known as J3 Billion, and I will be playing Deseth tonight, our resident glasswalker.
Wonderful. Now, before we get back into the story, let's check in with our resident Galliers so they can remind us what happened last time we were together.
Faster than death watched the cub as they ate. The fire was dying, and they would be on the move again shortly. Soon, the tomb would arrive at the sept of the undying sun, and she would move on to wherever the wind took her next. Tracy looked up. So what happened next? The Cubs had been successful in rescuing Grandmother. Sage healed her, while Breaker of Chains tended to Linda as best she could. Grandmother explained that there was a cub by the name of Sawyer that she had been watching over, who was taken to another location. Linda needed more medical attention, and Grandmother would help her, asking the rest of the Cubs to rescue him. Fraser found a laptop and was able to hack into the system to find where he was taken, while Sage and Breaker searched the facility, the first finding old records and files, the later finding Pentex uniforms labeled Project Iliad. Others will explain to you what Pentex is. For now, know that they are a corporation of the worm that has corrupted every faction of human society. It's why I threw out your hand gloss cosmetics. Breaker developed a plan. The Black Spiral Dancer had left behind a satellite radio, which the pack would call into the other location. Sage told them that the facility had been attacked and that she and Fraser pretended to be Pentex employees. Breaker would be a captured wolf. It worked. At the arrival of two first teams to secure the location, and they escorted them to a facility that Sawyer was held at. You can hear the story arc explain what a first team is. I thought so. As I was about to say, Fraser and Sage were able to pass as employees and were escorted to the facility's sleeping quarters. Breaker was taken to the bunker where Sawyer was held. In his lupus form, he spewed a barrage of insults at his supposed captors and was able to identify at least two who understood the Garu tongue. He was placed in the holding cell next to a giant man who was screaming in agony, held in place by multiple silver chains. Sage slipped into the Umbra to speak with the spirits to find Sawyer. They had been found that they were on an island guarded by two Banes, although they were watching for those who would enter from the water, not concerned with an attack coming from the inside. Contacting the spirit, they were asked to make noise stop. Fraser had hacked into the network, discovering the location of the holding cells, and that lunch was routinely brought there. He changed some of the files and put him and Sage as the next employees assigned to make the delivery. Stinky Pete was brought in and thrown into the cell Breaker's cage was in. Making a partial transformation to allow him to speak as mortal, he insulted the guards and Pete before turning his attention to the large man. For a moment, he was able to calm his anguish and stop the screaming, although Sawyer's quiet did not last. When the time came, Fraser and Sage made their way into the bunker, Fraser quickly slaughtering both guards and then set to work dealing with the security system. Sage opened the door to the cells. To the holding area. Breaker barked to unlock the cells, and once opened, went to free Sawyer. As the sun fully set, faster than death stood. We have many more miles to cover. Bury the fire, and we'll run into the cover of night with Luna to guide us. Soon, you will be at your mother's set. When we next stop, I will finish our tale.
Thank you very much. And that was where we had left off. Linda was going with grandmother, and the other three were on the island in a holding cell behind a heavy, heavy steel door. So we are going to leave those three there, and we are going to check in with Linda. So while the others were ransacking the laboratory that you had found grandmother in and setting up a pseudo ambush for whoever came in response to their radio call for help, you and the grandmother had slipped out of the building. She had healed you of some of your injuries, but it was going to take time for the rest of them to heal. So she, and well, she's badly wounded as well. So the two of you kind of helped each other limp out of the facility, and she led you to the north.
Okay.
As you guys traveled and your wounds healed more and more, you were able to travel a little bit more quickly, until eventually you came to that same clearing that you had seen in the Umbra, where you had found the herd of caribou. Here in the physical realm, it looks quite a bit different. There is no cabin. There is just a clearing with a small hill in the middle of it. As you get closer to that small hill, you see that there's actually it's almost a hobbit hole, but the door is just a normal door. It's not round. And she leads you to that and opens the door and leads you into what can only be described as a very primitive underground home. So there's a window on the door to allow some light in, but that's about it. It's just a small little one room, if it were made out of wood, it would be a cabin, but instead it's just like a little cave.
It's like her sanctum.
This is her home, she says as she brings you in.
Not quite what I expected, but well along the lines.
She gets to work making some tea, pulling dried herbs off of hangers that were hanging from the wall, crushing them up and mixing them with hot water, which she offers you a cup of as she sips on her own.
I will graciously take it.
Wonderful. Do you have any questions for me, child?
I guess really only two, now that I think about it. The first
Go
one,
ahead.
how did they find you? It's obviously very secluded out here.
That I wish I knew the answer to. As you can see, my home is not necessarily an advertisement of civilization. It's set this way for a reason. For one, it helps keep me warm during these cold winters in the middle of a lake. And then for another, it keeps those pesky aircraft that fly over from noticing that there's something here. This was a place for experimentation back in the day, back during the World Wars. There was a laboratory here that conducted experiments it was here because it was secluded. And as far as I can tell, being essentially at the border between two countries, it allowed them to do things that they wouldn't necessarily be able to do elsewhere.
You know what kind of experiments?
Not the good kind. But that's one of the reasons that I took up residence here, was to try to repair that damage that was done, to guard this site, attempt to undo the worm taint, the corruption that that kind of thing brings, that Pentax tends to bring with it wherever it goes.
Okay. So I guess my second question would be, why did they want you?
They didn't want me.
Then why
Think they
kidnap you?
wanted- I don't think they wanted me. I don't think that they wanted Sawyer. I think they just stumbled upon us. I think they're here for something else. What, I don't know.
Did they happen to mention anything while they were...
Torturing me?
Yes.
No. But considering the one that was leading it, the woman that you dealt with down in that lab, she wasn't all there, if you know what I mean.
You can say that again, Grandma.
Those of the, well, those that have walked the spiral are not known for their planning. Purely out of spite is my guess.
With the things that have occurred, do you think that it's wise for you to stay here any longer? Shall we take you back to the set?
I think that maybe yes. As much as I would prefer to stay here and continue my work, I think that I may have to return, yes.
Linda looks at... she probably doesn't have a watch on.
No.
So how long have the other three been gone since we like how much time's passed?
So it probably took about an hour and a half or 2 hours to hike the distance of the island.
It's far away back.
Yeah, to limp your way back. Yep. It's not a large island, but it is very rugged. There's not really a lot of trails to speak of, mainly because there's not a lot of wildlife here, at least not in the physical realm. As you saw in the Umbra, there's plenty, but
yeah.
So it's been a few hours, and I think we will pause it there because we're going to switch back to our other three. So, Breaker, Fraser, and Sage, you have a screaming, howling, doubled over in pain Sawyer. And on the other side of thick concrete walls and a heavy steel bomb door, you have an entire Pentex facility with multiple first teams. And God, that looks horrible, Zach.
Looks
It
that
is.
like so
It
bad.
is.
It looks so bad.
And the brewery that this glass is from, it does actually kind of looks like their watermelon ale, which
Yeah.
I am told is delicious. R.I.P. Fretzy.
Is that coconut water
It is coconut water
and beer
and orange cream soda.
and all?
That tracks. I would drink that.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
It must be a beer thing.
I might
It must be
have
a beer
to.
thing.
I may need like 8 cigarettes after this.
Your beard's gonna fall out.
So Breaker is actively trying to calm down our riled up Sawyer.
Yeah.
Transporting through is not, so he's going to say nice calming things and repeat things while I drink this filth.
So over the last few minutes of dealing with freeing him, breaking him free from his restraints, you've discovered that saying his name, speaking in a calming voice will lessen the howling and the screaming, and he does his best to focus on you and concentrate on you, but it's very short periods of time before he's once again yelling and wailing.
Yes, I was gonna say Sage is doing the same thing. They are like holding Sawyer and like patting his hair and just like kind of trying to
soothe him.
Yeah. Is there a reflective surface or mirror or anything?
So each of these cells has a stainless steel toilet sink combo, and above that is a highly polished piece of stainless steel that you can see a reflection in. Yes.
So I'm going to try to get him to look at himself and just be like, and follow up with the things that have gotten him to seem to have recollection, saying his name, talking about grandmother, speaking in nice, soothing tones, and guide him towards a mirror so that he can see himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sage is still holding him as they walk to look in this reflective surface, and they are kind of quietly telling him just some of the stuff that that Cyrus would tell them, about the first time going to the Umbra, that's when Agaru was truly breathed for the first time, just and is telling them about growing up in the foster care system and how they got out. Mentions that they ran in with a bad crowd. Chug, 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 chug.
He's going for it.
Chug, 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 chug.
Can we have a moment in silence for this man here?
Rest in peace. Everyone, moment of silence. We will miss Dwayne dearly.
I've still got half and half left.
I appreciate your dedication.
I'm glad I didn't eat before this.
Yeah, so you can tell that he's fighting to quiet himself, and he kind of stifles most of it as you share that, particularly when you start discussing your childhood growing up in the foster care system, and he places this huge hand on top of your head and returns kind of the brushing of the hair while so you can tell that he's definitely appreciative of it, but he's still in a great deal of of agony.
So
At some point, Sage will be like, we'll ask Sawyer, if you can tell us, what do you need?
Grandmother. He's
We'll get you.
between cries. He grandmother.
We'll get you there. So you need to work with us, okay?
Come step into the Umbra with us, and we can go see grandmother.
And then he nods. And Fraser, you were saying something?
Oh, no. We're already headed there, so.
All right. So who is going to lead the group across? Because he is not in any state to take himself across.
Sage will take him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll Gnosis. And I think we're at a 6 gauntlet here, if I remember correctly.
So just my 4 Gnosis dice?
Yes.
Three 7s.
Okay. Takes a few seconds, but the two of you cross over. Were you bringing everybody or just Sawyer?
Everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be going.
So everybody kind of put hands on the big guy and shunt across. So as you emerge into the Umbra, into the spirit realm, the bellowing from Sawyer does not abate. And as you become aware of the spiritual presences around you, you get your first indication of why Sawyer is in such pain. Because those of you who are holding on to him find that you are holding on to not only a large man, but something else. Seems like there's almost like an octopus that has wrapped itself around Sawyer's form, and tentacles are reached up, and 2 of them, one is in each of his ears, another one is wrapped around his throat, and you see that there are several that are trying to push their way into his mouth.
I'm going to grab one of the tentacles and rip it.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to.
You guys grab those tentacles and you start to pull on them. And what you discover is that where a normal octopus has little suction cups, those suction cups in the center of each one is a barbed spike that is driven into his flesh. And as you pull, they begin to pull, and his screaming just increases in volume. And they quickly realize that if you pull too much, you will pull large portions of his skin off with it.
he'll get a battle scar. It's okay. No. Does the octopus have a head?
Not that you can tell. It seems like it's all arms.
There's no part where
many arms.
There's no part though where the arms are like. If these are arms, there's got to be something that they're connected to, right?
Other arms.
Sage is.
Have you ever seen a fractal? A fractal where it's just you have like one thing that branches off, and then that branches off, and that branches off, and that branches off. It's almost like that.
Well, right, but there's one thing that they all branch off of.
That you think might be inside of his mouth.
God, who fucking does something like this?
Hold his mouth open. Unless anybody's got a better idea. This thing is inside of him.
This is a really bad goddamn idea.
Do you have a better idea?
No, I don't fucking know. I just want you to know it's a bad idea.
Sage is pulling out their pocket knife and is just like cutting arms. Is going to like try and just like cut.
So they grab one of these arms and they kind of pull it out a little bit to get a little bit of space, slip the knife underneath of it and pull. And have you ever actually touched an octopus? It's like rubber, but really tough and really strong. And you hook your knife underneath of it and you pull, and it just kind of flexes, and then the knife slips out from underneath of it. It's not able to actually bite into it. And just that pull to get the knife under there is enough to get even louder screams out of Sawyer.
I mean, this thing is literally a spirit, right?
Yes.
Like, why is it doing what it does? Can another spirit help?
What are the spirits doing? Like other spirits, I'm assuming there's others.
So as you look around, you see that the bomb shelter, the bunker basically that you guys were in, is still kind of here in the spiritual realm, but instead of being, multiple foot thick concrete, it's actually just a kind of an outline of that in the spider webs. And where you would normally anticipate seeing, quite a few spirits flitting around, you don't see any inside of here. But what you do see is that there is one portion of that wall of spider webs that seems to be blowing open. Like the wind is pushing it apart to reveal, and through that you can see the mainland.
The mainland, like...
Is there...
Because you guys are on a smaller island off the shore of the larger island. So you can see the larger island.
We talked last session about sentries, spirits that were roaming the perimeter here. Is there any more of those out? Or is it just a straight shot to the mainland?
If you look out through that little breach in the spider webs, you don't see anything moving. You just see the trees of the larger island in the distance.
Stealthily, I would like to go to that opening and just look outside and see what I see.
You poke your head out and you kind of look around, and when you look to the south, which is where the main bulk of the Pentex facility was, you see that area is very covered in spider webs. There's a lot of pattern spiders crawling around out there. There's a lot of those floating eyeball spirits that you had seen. Up on this end of the island, there's a few of those sentry or those sentinel spirits kind of floating around, but they are still mainly looking out. You would guess that the sound of him being tortured up here without having that thick concrete to deafen it is much louder in the Umbra, and that a lot of the spirits seem to be avoiding this area, maybe for that reason.
So, like, if I'm understanding correctly, we don't have any of the sentry spirits specifically pointing at the mainland right now.
None that you wouldn't think that you'd be able to maybe sneak past or outrun.
I'll report back and be like, yeah, so we can get out here. We just got to be quiet, or at least as quiet as we can be. I know the irony.
Quiet, not an option.
Yeah, I know.
Fast, hard. Let's go.
Fair. Does one of
Sage will look at Sawyer and say, it's like Sawyer has like this stuff like coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Is gonna pull out a handkerchief and say, "Can you do me a favor? I need to put this in your mouth so we can get out of here. And the quicker we get out of here, the quicker I can get you to grandmother."
And he nods.
Okay. Just like, so I will shove this handkerchief like in his mouth. So like, it'll like stifle like the screams.
Yep. He tries to open his mouth further so that you can do that, and more tentacles worm their way in, but you also get the handkerchief in there.
All right. And I will I'll like rub his back real quick, and I'll hold his hand and say, like, let's go.
Okay. And do you guys all break and run?
Yeah, if Sawyer can't run, I would switch into Krenos and try and carry him. I know he's a big dude, but should be able to at least help.
Okay. Anybody else gonna shift forms?
Yes. Well, I
because you were in Lupus, I believe.
Lupus, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to switch up to Hispo.
Okay.
And actually, no, I'm going to stay in Lupus to lead the way
For the speed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they both have the same speed, but there's lower. I have very low. My perception difficulty is very low.
Oh yes.
Lupus, because I also have the heightened senses. So I'm going to act kind of like a scout and guard.
Okay.
And,
okay. Sage.
I'm gonna Fraser is going to carry Sawyer.
Okay. So are you gonna?
I'm going
shift up to Krenos as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna shift up to Krenos.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, so I can like keep the speed, keep the strength, and that way. Excuse me. And I can still hold his hand.
Yep. Okay. So between the two of you, you can easily hoist him. Can basically just grab him by the belt almost and pick him up, get his arms around your shoulders, grab an arm so that you can kind of be holding him and run. So, Breaker, give me Dex plus Athletics at a 6. Sage and Frazier, give me Dex plus Athletics at a 7, because it's a little bit more troublesome for you because you're hoisting a person between you. A person who, even in his human form, is nearly as large as your Krynos forms.
Dex plus athletics, you said?
Yep. Two, 4.
Sorry, I had something clicked on my sheet somewhere.
Oh, that's right.
It was a really good roll, too. 1.
Okay. That is enough. So, Breaker darts out, charging across the really short piece of land, basically, before you get to the water, and charges right out onto the top of that water because it's the Umbra, and things don't work how you would anticipate them to. There's really no up or down other than what you determine it to be.
You could have just ran across the water.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We didn't need the fucking boat.
I don't know. It's the Umbra, man.
No, he's yelling that to the others. Are you fucking kidding me?
Nothing but a big rocking chair. It was fine.
Cyrus didn't teach me that.
Rocking chairs suck. They're what? They're
Lazy boy, then?
So it is about
yes, you are
mile.
a lazy boy by taking a boat instead of running.
I got some sleep. I don't know about you.
We didn't know that, okay?
Yeah, and I got sleep. What's wrong? I don't understand what the...
And we bonded. That's what's really important here.
Yes, it's not about what we're doing, but about the journey, but also about what we're doing. Let's go.
So the three of you charge out across the water, the spirits of the water hoisting you up. Your footsteps come down, and where you would think that they would sink through the surface of the water, the spirits actually buoy you up. And you you run as quickly as you can across the mile stretch of that towards the shore. As you are going, you do hear an alarm get raised behind you. The fact that Sawyer is still bellowing, not quite as loudly, but it is still there, combined with the spirits that were on sentry duty finally noticing that you're gone. You do have quite a bit of a head start, but as you glance back, you do see forms on 4 legs charging out after you.
So I do imagine that I'm still faster than them carrying.
Oh yes,
right?
Quite a bit.
Okay, so I'm doing a kind of scout come back around and kind of just circling, really.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of make sure there's nothing out in front, fall back, make sure that it's following us, and then kind of yo-yoing back and forth around them. So when these things start following, I will stay intentionally hanging back.
Okay.
Sage is kind of praying to the spirits of the water, asking the spirits to please slow down those who are chasing us as we run.
Roll charisma plus expression. Because Sage can actually speak to spirits.
Can. Expression?
Yeah.
Four successes.
4 successes. Okay. So I am going to subtract 2 from the dice pool of the pursuers.
Can I howl in beast speech?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we close to the island yet or no?
Yeah. And they are catching up. So, Breaker, as you circle around, you notice that these things that are chasing are moving almost as quickly as you are. They're not as fast as you, but they are faster than your packmates who are carrying someone. You circle around and you get a little bit better look at what they are. Thought I had these pulled up. So I'm going to throw an image in the Discord so you have an idea of what you see chasing. You see 3 of these coming out after you. So the audience, what you see, or let me describe it to you, is a wild boar. So a huge wild boar, 6 foot at the shoulder, 7 or 8 feet long, but really kind of sickly and emaciated. They have bristles are coarse and malformed, and they stink of grave rot. The deathly pale flesh covering their skulls is so thin and the bone structure so distinctive that it's easy to get the impression that they have no flesh to their heads at all. And they are charging out across the same umbral waves as you guys, but you can see that those waves where earlier they had been kind of lifting you guys up, they are doing the opposite here. They're actually, where you guys were finding that your steps were always between waves, their steps are always at the tops of the waves. And so they're having a hard time finding their footing, but they're still slightly gaining on you. So everybody give me another set of dexterity plus athletics rolls.
Now that I have seen them and gotten that good of a look at them, is that something that I would have been taught and know what they are, or have some idea, even if I haven't seen one before?
So you are a Galliard, correct?
I am a Galliard.
You know the story of the Skull Pigs. You know that during the War of Rage, one of the Farah that was destroyed were the wereboars. Prior to them being completely wiped out, though, you know that they made a deal with the worm. That deal was that they would survive as long as they served the worm. This is what came of that. They are essentially stuck in their version of Hispo. So yes, you know what these are, and you know that they are 3 and 1. All right. You know that they are bad news.
I am going to howl first in the Garu tongue as a warning to, hopefully, warning to Linda and grandmother about that we are being chased by skull pigs. And then I am also going to try to use beast speech and convey the same message in caribou.
Okay. Frazier, how many successes did you get?
Big fat 0.
Big fat 0. Okay. You got 1, 3, and 0. Okay. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So, Breaker and Sage, the two of you open up a little bit of space between you. But Frazier begins to lag a little bit.
So how does that work if Frazier and Sage are both carrying Sawyer?
Oh, you're about to find out. So, Breaker, roll at a difficulty 6. Sage and Frazier, as you guys are starting to separate, your difficulty is now at 8.
Still Dex and Athletics?
Now, we done a mechanic where you push past your like physical limitations. Is that something I can do?
That was a feat of strength.
Okay, so it wouldn't necessarily apply here.
No. But I would allow you to spend a point of rage for an extra action and make 2 rolls.
Consider that done.
Okay.
I've gained temporary rage from seeing a skull pig.
They're not a threat at this point, so no.
They are Garu fallen to the worm. Or they are Farah fallen to the worm. Not okay. It's worth a shot.
It's always worth a shot.
So what did you want us to roll?
I would like you to roll your Dex plus Athletics at an 8, please. And I'll say the same thing to you that I said to John. If you wanted to spend a point of rage, you can roll twice and combine your rolls.
Combine our rolls? Oh yes, I will spend a point of rage.
Okay.
Because I only have 2 dice. So it's like...
Doing better than me, and I got 4.
You know, it's like, just like... Alright.
Oh. You're including that you're in Kranos and you get +1 dexterity, right?
Yeah. I have, I believe I'm master, right?
Did you see Ray pick up another die?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
3 plus. Yeah,
I keep forgetting
athletics.
to do that. 5 successes.
Okay.
3.
3. Breaker.
I had 3 again.
Yeah, 3 again. Okay. So you guys maintain the distance. They gain nothing on you. As you reach the island and move into the trees, as you dash through these trees, leaping over fallen logs, ducking under branches, you begin to see movement out of the corners of your eyes.
Oh shit, I hope that's good news.
There.
Fuck!
And as you push further and further in, those movements become more and more prevalent. As you have lost sight of the skull pigs behind you. All you can trust is the sounds that you hear. And what you hear is a sound that you heard earlier. You heard of hooved creatures moving in mass. It's a little bit more dissipated here because those caribou are moving through the trees and leaping over logs and dodging trees as you guys are. But they provide enough of a distraction that all three of you manage to, over the course of the next few minutes, avoid anything else untoward happening, and you stumble into the clearing that you had met those caribou in. It's different than what you had seen before in the Umbra, in that that cabin seems to be missing. Instead, there's a much smaller hill in the middle of the clearing.
Wait, what?
So the clearing where that cabin was before, you've returned there, but the cabin is missing.
Yeah,
Instead, there's a small hill in the middle of the clearing.
yeah. Frasier's definitely confused. Like, what the fuck is going on?
All of our taxidermy is gone.
Yes.
Shame.
Breaker's gonna kind of just patrol and kind of see if, like, how did we lose the war pigs? If they got run off and are dealing with spirits and the spirits could use our help, or if they got lost. So he's kind of keeping an eye on.
Give me a perception and alertness.
Now I am going to shift into this.
Yep. The difficulty on this is going to be a 6.
Just getting all my die together. So that would be 3 successes to shift into lupus.
Well, that's your
And then
breed
you said
form.
it
You can do that automatically.
Oh, okay. Then you wanted perception and alertness.
Yes, please.
What did you say the difficulty was again?
6.
2.
2. Okay. It's hard to tell exactly what is going on because you are using purely just your hearing at this point. But it does sound like they are still moving this way. They're just being slowed.
Oh wait, was that taking into account the -2 for lupus and the -2 for heightened sentences?
Yes. Because you weren't using the smell, which is the big bonus to that.
Okay.
But they are still moving this way. They are just moving more slowly. So, do you guys want to remain in the Umbra, or are you going to switch to the physical world?
Switch.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
You have a small mirror in your bag, so you can quickly pull that out. And then somebody give me a Gnosis roll to lead you across.
So to clarify, do we need we need it crossing both ways here?
Yeah. The difficulty here is, I believe we had it at a 4 because this is wilderness.
I'm going to make sure the others get through first, and then I'll go in.
Okay.
I'll be the last to...
And you got 4?
Yep.
Okay.
Can't take a specialty in Gnosis, can you?
I will definitely be like have my hand on someone as we go through because I'm really bad at this.
I mean, we're both still like carrying.
Yep.
Like Sawyer, so like I can easily like grab you too.
Yeah, I just put my hand on, or I just support Sawyer, and we just all kind of walk through. I think
it's going to be more like Riker's going to come up behind the three of you and get up on his hind paws and lean forward. So he'll put his paws on each of you and his kind of mouth on the back of Sawyer and kind of pushing her, like just pushing everybody through.
Push everybody right through. All right. So Linda, inside the little hobbit hole, you suddenly hear someone bellowing and screaming in pain and anguish outside.
I'm gonna go and look.
It was me. I go and look.
Oh shit! Sorry. No, I thought.
I go and look out the little hobbit window.
My bad.
And you see
slow.
You see your 3 pack mates in various forms, and also between 2 Krynos forms a huge man, over 7 foot tall, and he is screaming and wailing in anguish. Grandmother shoves you out of the way as she darts out the door.
I will run in tow to make sure that my pack mates are okay.
Yeah, Sage is like when we see grandmother running towards us, she whispers to Sage, "I told you I would get you to her."
Nods. And the tiny little woman takes a hold of him as if she's going to carry him herself, but then quickly realizes that that's not going to happen. And asks you guys to bring him inside and lay him down.
Absolutely.
I can't tell how tired they are, but if they are, I will scoop them up and help her move them in.
Okay.
As best I can.
Wonderful.
I'll also, as a point of order, like I know that this is really fucking important, and he's hurting really bad. But this is all for fucking naught if we get caught, and like those spirits report back, they're gonna know where we're at.
Get caught? I take it you didn't make a clean getaway.
Sage will tell Linda and grandmother what happened.
I think as clean a getaway as we could.
Yeah.
To be honest, like that was really fucking clean.
I mean, we could have killed the skull pigs, and just after that, he's going to start pacing around, kind of taking up the perimeter.
I'll for once in Fraser's life, he's going to be like, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. Let's go on patrol.
Okay.
Are we expecting something?
Yeah, like Sage is telling Linda and grandmother like everything that happened in the time in our separation. It's like to getting to the island, what happened on the island, the pretending we're, on the lunch shift to get to where Breaker and Sawyer were, how we got here, telling them
Three skull pigs.
Watch
three
out.
skull pigs, the whole deal. It's just
And it is about that time where you hear a commotion at the edge of the clearing. And we're going to take a break.
It's already
From the
break time?
bushes comes a man named Jason,
the-
and he
Yes.
says, "It's time for a break."
We're going to break a little bit early because this is a natural kind of break in the action. So we will be back in about 10 minutes, and we are going to finish up this short tale. So please hang with us, and we will be right back.
Go.
Welcome back, everybody. Just before the break, we finally got the pack back together. All four of them are now in the clearing outside of Grandmother's hovel. It's not really a house. It's a little hole in the ground. But needless to say, as we had left, something had entered the clearing. So Grandmother is inside with Sawyer. Breaker and Fraser had begun to do a perimeter sweep. And it is these two that hear something enter the clearing. Turn your heads towards the south, which is the direction that the Pentex camp was. And what you see is two individuals in Pentex jumpsuits step into the clearing. Breaker realizes and recognizes them very quickly. These are the two individuals who, when you were chewing out the people in your lupus form, who understood you. And very quickly you realize why, as they break into running towards you, and their forms flow and shift until there are two large black Hispo Garu charging towards you. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. That is going to be your wits and your dexterity score, and then add that to whatever you roll on a d10. We'll just have everybody roll. For the time being, it is just our Galliard and our Ragabash outside, as our Theurge and our Philodox are inside with Grandmother and Sawyer.
What were we using for initiative?
We're using a d10 plus your dex and your wits added together. Remember your dex if you're in Krenos or in Lupus in Breaker's case.
Glad that my rolls are staying true.
Was it a 16 Breaker?
16, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to follow up right behind him with a 15.
15, okay.
Actually, no. 4, 5, 6. Nope, 15. I'm right. Yep, duh.
Okay.
Math's hard.
Math is hard.
Sage? 7. Linda?
I also rolled a 7.
Okay. What did you add to the die roll?
6.
Sage, what do you add to your die roll? 6.
We both rolled ones.
You guys go at the same time, all right. Okay. All right. So, Fraser and Breaker, you guys are both quicker than these black spiral dancers. They are just going to close the distance, and one of them is going to attack either of you. Or one on each of you. So basically you can see they start sprinting towards you. One of them starts angling towards Fraser, the other one starts angling towards Breaker. But you guys get to go first. So, are you going to charge out and greet them, or something else?
I mean, it's a werewolf game, right?
It is. So this is where you get to answer your question. When will you rage, right?
I would like to rage. I'm gonna... Breaker works first, but I'm going to charge mine. Yeah, I'm gonna try and break their charge.
Okay. So you're going to run out, meet him, and attack?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And try and knock him in the air.
Breaker.
I'm going to run out with Fraser. And then at the kind of last moment, I'm going to leap out and bite the one that's going after Fraser.
Okay, so you want to charge kind of towards the one that's coming at you, and at the last minute, instead, juke over and attack the other one?
Yeah, I figure we're close enough.
Yeah, it's not going to be hard at all.
Yeah, I figure me and Fraser are close enough.
Yeah. Especially if you guys run out at them next to each other, then they're going to stay close together as well.
Yep.
All right, so I am going to say that that's going to split an action. Because you're going to kind of be fainting. So I'm going to ask for a something subterfuge. I think I want to do Dex subterfuge.
And for the record, I am going to be spending some rage here.
Okay.
So I'll be sprinting in lupus since I'm still in lupus.
Yep.
And then a rage to a bite to do to switch into his bow for the attack.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use a rage for an extra action when we get to that round.
Okay. So I'm going to say your initial action, we're going to split that into the feint, so the juke, and an attack.
Okay.
So roll dexterity plus subterfuge to sell that you're going at the one.
I'm not really trying to sell it. But okay. So with a split, does that mean I roll lower?
So you take the smallest pool
Uh-huh.
and split that in half.
And I do that for both rolls?
Yes. But you'll see very shortly why I'm having you do it this way. Two successes. Okay. So I'm going to give you an additional die on your attack because of you're throwing them off in attacking the one that they weren't anticipating. So on this one, you're going to do you burn your rage to switch into Hispo, and then in your Hispo form, go ahead and roll your Dex plus your Brawl, halved, +1.
So should I reroll the whole thing where one of the dice is landing on top of another dice and I can't see what that dice is?
Sure.
Because without knowing what that dice is, that is 5 successes.
Do you want to take the 5 or do you want to re-roll?
We'll reroll.
We'll re-roll. All right.
Dangerously. 4.
4 successes. Okay. So, bite and Hispo is
10s are 2s, right? And not exploding.
10s count as 2, yes, because
Okay,
you have
four.
you have the proficiency in
Yep.
Brawl for your lupus form. Yep.
Ooh.
Absolutely. Okay, so strength plus, what is it? +2? +3? I think it's +2 for Hispo.
Hispo is +1 damage to bite. Bite is already
A +1.
Plus
Yep.
to
Okay,
bite.
perfect. So then you add 3 to that. Because they were not anticipating you coming after them, so they are not able to dodge you.
So it's 3 plus the 2 from the.
Yep, so plus 5. Strength plus 5.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so here is where we get to learn one of the more obscure rules of White Wolf games. You are unable to botch a soak roll. So he doesn't take 6 ag, he takes 5 ag, as you pretty much rip his throat out. Because that puts him at very, very, very hurt. So you took that one out. So Frazier, the one that was coming after you, got just blindsided by Breaker doing a crossover and slamming into it and ripping its throat mostly out. And the two of them tumble off to the side, leaving the one that was headed for him a little bit stunned. So go ahead and make your attack roll, and I'm going to give you that same 1 die bonus that Breaker got for his subterfuge, his juke.
Oh, hell yeah, this is gonna be good. I'm hoping. I am going to spend a willpower on this if I can.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, that's a good point. I will remind that some of you have, I think Zach, you still got, everybody has 1 recharge from votes from the audience. I think Zach, you used one last week.
Yep.
Yep, so you still have 1.
I will use my recharge to get a rage, and then can I choose to use the rage whenever, or do I have to say it now?
Nope, you can use it whenever.
Okay, so if this attack doesn't kill him, I'm going to attack again.
Oh, as far as for extra actions, you do need to announce those now.
Okay, no, done. It's spent. It's gone.
Okay.
So yeah, so we got a total of 10 dice to use. Excellent.
Werewolf dice pools are so fun.
They really are. I just wish I had physical dice. That's 6. That's 6 successes.
6 successes. Okay. And were you clawing or biting?
I was clawing.
You're clawing. Okay. So that is going to be strength plus 7.
And I do have a specialization in brawl, if that matters.
That would make the what was the specialization you took?
Claws.
Claws. Okay. So since you were clawing, any 10s that you got on the attack roll would have counted as 2 successes.
Okay. So strength plus 7, which strength is 6 plus 7. Oh god, 13. 8.
You still have
this
your
difficulty 6?
Yeah, you still have your difficulty at 8 on that attack.
Oh, oops. That's my bad. Guess we can we look and see what the dice are without.
I thought you could, but it's just showing.
Depends on how it's set up in Astral. So sometimes you can, sometimes it depends on.
Yeah, it's just showing 0, 1, or 2. But since there is a 2, I'm assuming that means that it had your 10 explode.
I think so. I'm not like I had.
Yeah, we'll call it good for now.
Yeah, absolutely. 12, 13. That would be a 9.
9, okay. Yeah, so that one, very similar thing occurs with him. You, as Breaker jukes this way and slams into the one that was coming at you, grabbing onto its neck and just kind of throwing it to the ground. You dart the other way, slashing with your claw, and kind of slide underneath of it and just rake your claw across the entire, just down its chest and its belly, and it tumbles to the ground unmoving. And as the two of you come up, you get to take your rage actions because those 3 skull pigs have come up as well.
I was going to ask about that. I didn't know if they could.
So are the black spiral dancers, are either of them still breathing?
The one that you attacked is still breathing, but he is pretty badly mangled. He is at maimed. So he's got -5 to all of his dice pools.
So if I bit him, did I necessarily let go? Is my mouth still on it?
Yes, because you did a bite attack, not the bite move, we'll say.
Okay. Since how far away are the skull pigs?
We'll say they are easily close enough for you to move over and attack them if you wanted.
I'm not going to leave this thing living.
They're not right on top of you, but they're close.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna tear this thing's fucking leg off to make sure that if it does somehow survive this, it's not going to be able to choose half very easily.
Okay.
So
you're in Hispo, so you want to like stand on top of it, grab its leg, and just rip?
Yeah, I want to just kind of bite into the leg and just like you've seen a dog and just like like yeah.
Who's your good boy? Who's your good boy? Good boy.
All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll. You just
actually wait. Can I change that? I want to bite it, lift it up with my, and toss it in the direction of the skull pigs.
See, that's what I was thinking, and I was waiting for you to say something about using it as a weapon against the skull pigs. I was really disappointed that you didn't. Make a strength plus athletics roll.
If he succeeds at this, can I play off it?
Absolutely.
Checking my athletics that they can't roll 8 times. Ones. 4 successes.
That is more than enough to strike one of them. Make a... Let's go straight strength +3 roll for damage.
This music's badass. Not gonna lie.
2, 4. That is 6.
6, okay.
Indeed, there's nothing like using a black spiral dancer as a ranged weapon.
Revise, adapt, and overcome, right?
Nothing wrong with that at all.
All right. 1, 2, and 1. So he soaks 1 of that. How much did you say it was?
That was 6.
6. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
I imagine it's passion damage.
Yeah.
Though the Black Spiral Dancer probably took damage from the Skull Pigs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tusk.
He's not breathing anymore. So Frazier, yeah, you just saw Breaker look over, see them, sink his fangs into the BSD, and with just one heave of his dire wolf neck, chuck it across the 10 or so yards to slam into one of the skull pigs. It hits it in the head, and it just kind of flips it up
Yeah, buddy.
over, and that Black Spiral Dancer just falls to the ground, unmoving. What are you doing?
Can I add a little flavor?
Yeah.
Just because I'm gonna make it a little spicy. As the Black Spiral Dancer arcs in the air, I want to jump up, grab it by its other leg, and just use it as a bat.
To slam down on that same skull pig?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you to make a pool of... we're going to do strength athletics for the leap and the grab. And then you're going to do dex and melee for the swing. So whichever one is your smaller pool, split that in half.
Strength athletics is 7. You said dex and
Melee for the attack.
dex and brawl or melee?
No, melee, because you are using it as a a weapon.
Man, sounded really cool in my head too. But this could
It can still be really cool.
It can still be really cool.
Appreciate the confidence, thanks. We're looking at a dice pool of 3 halved.
If you roll and fail, it's still cooler than if you don't roll at all.
Fair. So 1 dice for the jump, right? Yeah.
Yep, and then 1 die for the attack. But you only really need 1 success for each of them.
I failed at the jump.
You're still at...
My dex and Krinos is only 3, and I don't have any melee. Yeah.
Okay. So you leap up into the air as gracefully as you possibly can. And, well, wait, no, the leap was strength.
Oh, you want me to roll the strength? Okay.
The leap, oh, wait. Oh, yeah, because we're splitting the smaller pool.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, so you leap up into the air, but you're not quite quick enough to grab a hold of it fully. So it slips from your your grip, and you instead land next to the skull pig.
Okay.
Yeah, glasswalkers are meant for spying, not fighting.
Fair.
Also,
I wanted to use something as a meat club.
Yeah, neither are Ragabath. Okay, so Sage and Linda, you hear the sounds of combat outside.
Disturbance, the force.
Go, young Skywalker.
Well, yeah, once we lay
So
Sawyer down.
So you guys have got Sawyer laid down. Grandmother is making some tea, and she tells you, "Go. I've got him." She says it very loudly because he is still bellowing in pain.
Sage will look at Slayer and say, "I promise I'll be right back." And we'll run out.
Okay. So the two of you emerge at nearly the exact same time to find that there are 3 huge wild hogs looking things. And one of them, that skull like front to him that you had seen is covered in blood. And he is on basically one of his haunches is Frazier. So what do you guys want to do?
I want to go after the nearest one to me that is uninjured.
Okay.
And, instead of focusing on like the one, get another one out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would like to do. Okay, remind me. Krynos is my war form, right? Or is that Hispo?
Krynos is the war form, yes.
Okay. All right.
It allows you to claw or bite, whereas Hispo is just bite. Well, you can claw in Hispo, it's just not as effective. Personally, I prefer Hispo. That's my favorite one. Because you are nearly as strong as you are in Krynos, but you're more dexterous.
So, which stat needs more help? Dex or strength?
See, and I think Dex needs more help. Werewolves are strong as shit no matter what, so. But that's just personal preference. I just think a giant ass direwolf is badass.
It's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to.
Now you're already in Krynos.
Yes.
That also helps where you're already in that form.
I want to claw it.
Okay. Do you want to claw it more than once?
Yes.
Okay. So you can either split your action. So you would divide your pool in 2, or you can spend a point of rage and get 2 attacks with your full.
All right. I will spend a point of rage.
Okay. And you're going at one of the uninjured skull pigs.
Yeah, I don't want to focus on the one because we still have 2 that are perfectly fine.
Yep.
I want to get that down to 1 that's perfectly fine.
Okay. So it is not going to bother trying to dodge you.
All right. So that is 5 dice. Three successes.
3 successes. Okay. So you do strength plus 2 for your claw attack.
So Strength plus 2. It says plus. So, I roll 6 dice then.
Yeah, so it's whatever your strength in Krynos is, plus 1 for the claws, and then plus 2 from your extra successes on the attack. So it's actually strength plus 3 total.
Claws are plus 2. It's bite that's plus 1.
Oh, I'm sorry, plus 2. So plus 4.
Alright, so my strength in Krynos is plus 4, and then like doing 2 more dice. So 6 dice total.
No, 10 dice.
10 dice. Yeah, I could do. Okay. Hardest math I do is the amount of dice I have in my hand.
Right.
We're gonna do this in 2 handfuls. My hands aren't very big, folks.
What? I've got all these dice and not enough hand. How do you feel?
I had to do 2 handfuls of 5 to roll it.
Sounds like rich people problems.
Seven successes.
7 successes, okay. And he soaked 2 of that. So he looks to be in about the same state as the other one. Now it is Linda's turn.
Yay. So yeah, Linda would have bust out around the same time, seeing what is going on. Now I actually have a question.
Yep.
When Linda went unconscious with our first roundabout with the BSD,
Yep.
would I have gone back to my primary form?
Yes.
Okay, so I am Hamid right now.
Yes, but you could have shifted to whatever form you wanted at any point.
I'm sure that I was sitting down with grandmother drinking tea in Hamid form, not
Yeah.
as a giant Kreenos,
Yeah.
so a little tiny cup of tea.
You might have switched to Krynos to help carry Sawyer in, though.
Aha. Well, for ease, we'll say that I was in Hamid nevertheless.
Okay.
But seeing the debacle that is going on now, under her breath, Linda will say, "I love bacon." And
Okay.
Hell yeah, get some bacon. Let's go.
and it will be that awesome cinematic where she's running on 2 legs, still in Hamid, and then starts to run on like hands and feet, still in Hamid, and it changes, and she changes to Hispo.
Okay.
I will spin the rage to automatically do it
Okay.
because I do have a vote, so I will use that vote to automatically get it back, and poof, it's gone.
Okay.
And I will just go at the nearest one. Any bacon will do.
Okay.
probably going for the juggler.
Okay, so we'll say that you're going after the center one, which is the one that your two other pack mates already hit.
All right.
You can't get them ham hocks. Don't want to cut the ham hocks up. That's where the meat's at.
Going straight for the cheeks.
Get
Right
up
the
in there.
cheeks. All right. Where's Bitey? Let me make sure my difficulty is right.
Yeah, don't do me.
I think it's 5 on the bite.
It is.
Yep.
Just wanted to make sure it wasn't wrong. That is only 3 successes.
Okay, but that adds 2 on top of the already 2 from the Hispo bite. So you do strength plus 4.
All right. My God, I rolled garbage.
Oh,
1.
okay.
1.
All right, so he soaks that. So you come in and you try to kind of come up underneath and get at his neck, but he just, because these guys are a lot like a pug, where they've got all that extra flesh in here, and when they pull in, it just forms this collar of impenetrable flab. And you just kind of get your teeth in that, and it doesn't really do anything.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
It shied me. I put it in there as the bonus, but it didn't roll it.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's defense by flubber. I understand.
All right, so that would be 2. Total of 2.
Okay, so same thing. Soaks it all. Doesn't actually get a good grip and good enough grip to do much. But Sage gets their rage action.
Alright.
You're gonna claw at that same one, or are you gonna bite?
Yeah.
It? Claw,
I'm gonna-
claw.
Yeah, I want to do the most damage.
Okay. So roll me another Dex plus Brawl.
So that'll be 1 less.
Oh, so many ones tonight. Four successes. All right. So you're going to do strength plus 5.
How many dice is that?
11.
Okay. Two handfuls again, folks.
2 good-sized handfuls. You never want 1 just normal-sized handful. That's a little weird, a little awkward. 2 normal-sized handfuls is a little not. If you ask me, that's a little lacking. A little bit lacking. Now, if you get 2 good-sized handfuls, that's where it's at. You're in the money.
I got 1 handful of 6, and I'll have 1 of 5.
Oh, fuck yeah.
7 successes.
7. Okay.
That's
So
a nice number.
that is a nice number, particularly because I did not roll very well on his soak, and he only soaked 2 of that, which means that Sage has killed one.
Yay! So how many are we down now?
You're down to 1.5, basically.
1.5. But 2 are still alive.
Yep. And now it's their turn. So, John, the one that
Oh, hell yeah. Bring it
you
on.
landed next to is not a big fan of you being there.
So just is this a new round or
No, they were just really slow.
okay?
So, to dodge, I would have had to split my pool at the beginning, right?
That would help.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did a dumb.
What did you do, Dwayne?
I didn't uncheck all my damage boxes.
Oh, no! Oh, it would have been so much better.
Oh, that's why your rolls were so horrible. It was subtracting a bunch from your pools.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh well.
Sorry. Sucks.
All right, Frazier, roll a soak for me.
Remind me what soak is, please.
Stamina at a 6.
Ah, yes, just straight stam. I have 2 dice in this. Oh, wait, no, I get more stam as... I have 5 dice in this. Okay, excellent. That sounds good. Sounds much better. Three.
You soaked it all. My dice are not doing well tonight.
So, can I add a little flavor?
Yeah.
So like the hog looks over at me, swings his head, and you just hear thump. And Frazier is just like roadkill on the mask, and he's got his 2 feet dug in, and he's just like gripping it with everything he has, and he's just like, oh, God, why me?
That puts your crotch right where its biting range.
This is a bad day. Oh God, no.
All right, and the other one who is uninjured, he charges in at Breaker. Breaker, make me a soak roll.
Yes. 6.
Yeah. So very similar thing happens with you, where this one comes in, swings his head, those big huge tusks, and you just he scoops you up, and you kind of get like a paw, one of your paws in the middle of its skull, and it's just waving those tusks around inches from you, but not able to connect.
All right. So just Astral won't let me in just so I can see my character sheet.
Oh.
And in my PDF that I have, my PDF copy, I don't have my stamina specialty written down.
Give me just a second here. I got logged out of Astral. Let me get logged back in.
Resilient.
Resilient. Would resilient apply in this case?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then that's Then that's 10 soak.
Oh God.
4 10s on that.
Heyo.
Hey.
Ew.
Yeah, he does nothing to you. And
Like,
now it's a new round.
Does he take damage from that? Like,
No.
I feel like a soak of 10, he just hits a brick wall and falls over.
They can't. They don't even touch him. Yeah, just. All right, so the pigs are going to attack. They're not super bright, so they're going to just stick to who they attacked the first time, which was basically who was directly in front of them. So one of them is going to go after Breaker, and one of them is going to go after Frazier. Sage and Linda, you will announce next.
I'm gonna stay on the one that I'm on, trying
Okay.
to not be a noob.
Do or do not. There is no try.
What did you say, Zach?
Do or do not. There is no try.
I'm going to assist Linda.
Okay, so you're going to attack that same one?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so that it would be the one that was on Frazier. So your two pack mates are going to come in and attack that one. Do
Are you
want
asking me what I want to do?
Yep, now it's your turn.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood. I'm gonna use my claws and I'm gonna see how thick this bone plating of their mask actually is.
Okay, do you want to try to dodge it? This is where it is
No.
going to attack you, so no. Okay. Breaker, one is attacking you.
I'm going to shift into Krenos.
Okay.
And I'm going, and it's like charging at me.
No, it's right there with you.
Right. But like, it's a big pig, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a big pig.
Um,
Oink, oink.
So the idea is to kind of grapple the pig.
Grapple the pig. Okay.
And basically just grab it and pick it up.
Okay. So you are going to grapple it and try to pick it up off the ground. Sounds good. Okay. So pig number one is going to try to gore Frazier.
This is fail.
Wait, weren't they last, I thought? Or
Oh, they are last. I'm sorry. We declare bottom to top and then act top to bottom. So Breaker. What do we got? A grapple is.
As it is I got to shift in Kranos, but just does the take half rule apply?
In a non-combat situation, yes.
Okay. Because I've got 10 dice pool to get one success to shift into Kranos. Or to be able to do this. I did it.
Okay.
I got 2 1s,
And that's
But-
why I asked you to roll, just in case.
but I still did it. And then the grapple would be Brawl.
Successful strength brawl roll.
right. Hold on, I need more dice. One, two, three. Difficulty 6, right?
Yes.
6 successes.
Okay. And then you can. You
I
want to
imagine-
hurt the foe, you can roll strength to inflict damage. And beginning
Yeah,
on
'cause
the
I imagine-
continues.
I imagine when I'm grabbing it in Krynos, I'm not like putting my hands around it softly. I'm digging my claws into it to get a grip into
Yeah.
the flesh.
Mhm.
So would that be a strength roll now or next?
No, you can do a strength roll now.
With successes included?
No, this is just straight strength because you're basically just crushing it.
Three.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Did I do that right? No, I didn't. Hold on. I need to roll 2 more dice. Still 3.
Okay. As much as you squeeze, it tenses and you're not able to really damage it. But it is now grappled.
Are my claws stuck in it, though?
Yeah. All right, Frazier.
Yes. Yeah, I'm just gonna slash at this thing.
Yep. So go ahead and roll me a Dex plus Brawl at a 6.
6. Alright. 3 successes.
Okay. So now give me a Strength plus 4 for the damage.
Alright, so 10 dice. And we, is it when we take damage or when we get attacked we get rage back?
Oh, all of you got a point of rage as soon as you entered into combat.
Alright, I will.
Thank you for reminding me. I meant to mention that. I forgot.
If it's okay, I would like to use that rage now.
Go for it.
I'm gonna use another attack. Why not? Sounds like fun.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, yeah, you have to declare those at the beginning of the round.
Oh, okay. I'll hold on to it. 6 successes.
Okay, so 6 successes. You rake your claws across that skull plate, that bony surface, tearing through the thin skin that covers it, but it doesn't really dig in.
Well, damn. I'll have to try harder next time.
All right, Sage and Linda. You have a skull pig in front of you, and Frazier is relatively securely attached to its head. And the two of you were both going to claw at it. So
Yeah,
go
so
ahead and make
I was
your
gonna bite at
attack
it.
rolls.
Like-
Oh, bite for
Well,
claw.
I'm clawing at it, so he won't be very attached for long.
So both of you give me a Dex plus Brawl, please. Difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6.
Yes. Like this. Put in my game one.
There's 1 for me.
Okay. So roll me Strength plus 1 for your damage, because you were biting, if I remember correctly.
That's 7.
7. Nice. Okay. And Sage? Is that on the attack or is that for the damage?
The attack.
The attack. Okay, so then you are going to you're doing claw, so you're going to roll strength plus 6, so 12 dice.
Or I can just drop it, you know? That's another thing I can do instead.
Let's see, where do you guys have it at? It's down. No, it's still kicking. These things are tough.
So did he? So just because I'm curious, he soaked all the damage I gave him.
He soaked all but one.
Wow, man, these things are tough.
They have a 7 die soak pool, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 health levels.
Talk about
Wow.
Talk about a fucking tank. Jesus.
They are tanks.
And I took one out in like 2.
Yeah, that was impressive.
My
That's
soak
real
rolls
impressive.
were not good that first couple rounds.
So what you're telling me is we need to pray to RNGesus.
Yes.
Eight.
8. Okay. I soaked 5. But that's enough to kill it. That's why I said you needed a roll, because I was like, oh, I soaked 5. This might...
Goddamn. Well done.
So Sage takes down another one.
2.
How do you
2 on the night.
How do you take this one out?
So remind me, how is my Ragabash friend attached to it?
Oh, he's just... It kind of tried to gore him, and he just kind of grabbed onto it and was just clawing at it.
What I want to do is I want to like come at it from underneath and just like decapitate it. So like I send its head flying.
Well, its head would fly, but
No.
Fraser's holding on to it.
Well, you know, like
So-
exactly.
So Fraser's just all of a sudden sitting
I-
on the ground with a pig skull in his arms.
So, in my head, I see Ray just like claw through this, just like claw through the neck and come
This
out
way.
the other side, and then the two halves just like violently just separate from one another, and like it's in a shower of blood. Ray's covered, and I'm just standing there with holding a skull, going, "Oh shit! Don't want to piss her off, them off." Excuse me.
Like they're the fucking third shit.
That's actually, I think Spank My Betty. We've established that you don't really need an Arun, because even our Ragabash is doing pretty well in this one.
You just gotta
All right.
believe in your dice.
Yes, you just gotta believe in the
and
dice.
pray to RNGesus.
Yes. All right. So, at this point, the start of the third round, Breaker has one of the skull pigs, its snout secured in his crotchular region, his arms wrapped around its chest, and the rest of its body picked up off the ground. When all of you hear the sound of helicopter rotors. So they are just coming over the clearing. As you guys saw earlier, there was one that was more of a large cargo helicopter, and then there is a smaller one The smaller one, as you look up, you can see that there are people hanging off the sides of that with firearms. The larger one, that has a big cage hanging off the bottom of it. So, starting at the bottom of the initiative, let's see, I should probably roll for those. Okay. So, Sage and Linda. Helos are coming in. What would you like to do?
Well, let's get crazy.
Now we'll get crazy.
Yeah.
At this specific moment in time.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little crazy. Obviously, depending on what happens beforehand, Linda will spend a point of rage to immediately change into Krynos. Run underneath one of these. They're trying to drop these cages, or
Yeah,
whatever.
one of them has a cage hanging off the bottom of it. Yep.
So she will position herself underneath whatever this is and
Okay.
attempt to catch it. If she does catch it, I will spend another point of rage to get another action and throw whatever I caught away. If it's bad.
Okay.
If it's not,
So
then
just so since
I'll kick it.
Dwayne wasn't here when this happened, if I remember correctly, you had stated that Linda and grandmother would have seen us leaving when we went in the helicopters, right?
Yes.
Ah,
Okay. So when you would have seen us leaving, they were taking me away in a cage. So if they have a cage that they're hanging, if there's something in it, it would be reasonable to think that there is a wolf.
but that doesn't mean that it's a good one.
Since you've... No, it doesn't. Since we already killed two black spiral dancers here, and then the one before, and then so.
Hmm.
But
Well,
just so
in
that
that
you
case-
can be educated about going and catching a cage that may get dropped.
I feel like the leader of the Black Eyed Peas needs to come in here and be like,
Are there
"Let's
any
get it
large
started."
stones around?
Stones, no. But there are.
Like a downed tree that's
Yes.
I don't know, about 8 feet long.
I have
Roughly in the length of a Krynos style spear.
I mean, I got the head of a giant boar.
He's got a giant boar skull.
If you don't want to throw it, I'm going to.
It is made of bone. Yeah.
There's presumably another skull that is not
Yeah.
Not yet
currently
removed from
in
the body, yeah.
and the bodies of two black spiral dancers.
So on my
Did you
turn,
mention
I will.
what
Yeah.
form they...
I will change to Krynos, and then the most opportune object, we'll state it that way, whether it is a skull and or a large log, I will pick that up and launch it towards the rotor of the helicopter.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
I would
spend willpower to do it.
I want to use part of this hog skull, and I would like, specifically with the tusk, and ideally, in all my dreams that I've just developed.
5 seconds ago.
5 seconds ago. I will throw this tusk into somebody's eye. Yeah.
So you want to stab the other one with this tusk that you ripped off of one of his friends?
Oh wait, is like that thing still alive?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought we
the
handled
one.
that thing.
Yeah, the one that Breaker has lifted up off the ground is completely uninjured.
Yeah, I'll take care of that one.
So you're gonna help Breaker by stabbing it with its friend's tusk.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so at this point would be where the helos are going to go. One of them is going to drop the cage.
We're going from bottom up, right?
Yep. And the other one, the soldiers on it are going to open fire on you guys. Frazier, what are you going to do?
I have a decapitated boar's head.
Mm-hmm.
I would like this helicopter to get intimately equated with.
Okay, you're going to throw it at the troop one or the cage one?
Cage.
Cage?
Well, depending on which one's near, because I feel like this is a long shot.
All right, and Breaker, you're going to body slam your pig?
So the ones that are shooting at us, how far away are they?
These guys are probably 100 feet or so off the ground, maybe a little bit more. The one with the cage is higher.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw it at the cage.
I'm just going to use this skull pig, digging my claws into its body so that I make sure to have a good solid grip. Changing the grip a little bit so it's more like holding it like this.
Okay.
Because I'm turning towards the helicopter that's shooting and using the skull pig as body armor.
Okay. So you're just gonna keep a hold of it and kind of use it as armor.
Yeah. So it's up in front of me. If they're shooting at me,
Yep.
and then when they hit me, they're going to hit it first, and the bullet has to pass through the skull pig with all of its soak while I roll my dice to soak.
Okay. Sounds good. I did not declare what it was going to do. It was going to, at the very end, it's going to try to break free of Breaker. All right, Breaker, it is your turn. I'm assuming you're still going to be squeezing it while you're doing this. So go ahead and roll your strength for damage.
Four.
Still manages to keep you from crushing it, but you can spin and use it as armor. Frazier, I would like you to make a we're going to go with strength plus firearms, which is the closest thing we have to a a ranged attack, I think.
What is he? Is it a
Firearms.
throw or is it a
Because he's throwing
what
it.
he's doing?
Yeah.
He wants to- Athletics does have throw as a specialty.
All right, we'll go with athletics.
I am glad you said that.
With strength athletics, I am going to say that because of the range, your difficulty on this is going to be an 8.
All right, I will spend
Because it is way up there.
fair. I will spend a willpower to do this.
Okay.
I feel like this is important. So that's 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay, so I am going to give the pilot an opportunity to try to dodge that. And now my dice are rolling good. So I got 3 successes to your 3 successes. So we'll say that it hits the cage on the bottom and kind of causes it to lurch a little bit, but it does not take it out of the sky.
Okay.
But that's okay, because as that cage is bouncing around, the bottom of it opens and a person falls towards the ground.
I'm all right with this.
Person. A
Fall
humanoid figure falls towards the ground.
I mean, I'm under no illusion that this is going to take him out, but fall damage is a thing, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that was that helo. The other one, they open up. Where's mine? Okay, full auto. All right, so let's see. Breaker. There. Okay, Fraser. Oh, that's tens and ones everywhere. Okay. So they are essentially, each of them is emptying a clip in the direction of one of you. Breaker, you have the skull pig up in front of you, so it takes the vast majority of the strikes. So you take 2 points of ag as silver bullets go through it into you. Frazier, you take 3 points of ag from silver bullets. Sage, you take 3 points of ag from silver bullets. And Linda, you take 4 points of ag from silver bullets.
My God.
And Sage and Linda, it's your turn. So, Linda, you are going to attack one of the helos with a skull off of one of the other pig.
Yeah, if a skull is readily available, or a head, something, a dead corpse, I will use that. If not, I will grab the closest long wooden pole.
Okay. Well, there is the Hamid corpse of the Black Spiral Dancers there. So you could grab one of those and chuck that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to call that a strength plus athletics at a 7. Because these are still up there a ways, but it's not as high as the one with the cage.
7?
Yep.
Ooh, should I spend the willpower now or not? Yep.
We're using silver bullets, which you guys can't soak.
Yep, I will spend the willpower. And I will click the button. That is 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay, so I'm going to give the same setup where the pilot has a chance to try to dodge that. We'll say that he only has 5 dice here, so the odds are you're probably going to hit it. Especially when I roll a 1, a 2, a 4, and 2 5s. So yeah, he botches.
Cool.
Well, thank you for your input. All right, so he is going to have to spend the next round stabilizing the aircraft. So they will not be firing next round.
Yes.
All right, Sage, you go over and rip a tusk off of the skull pig, and you're going to stab the one that Breaker is holding with it. Okay, so
Yes.
I'm going to say that is going to be a split action.
All right.
Strength athletics to rip the thing off, and then dex plus melee to stab.
Strength of athletics.
Yep. So whichever is your smaller pool, you're going to split that and use it, half of it for each of these rolls.
Okay. So in my Krinos form, I have a 4 strength.
In your Krinos form, you have 4 plus what you have in Hamid. So you have a 6, I believe, total.
Okay.
Minus whatever your wound is.
All right.
Yep.
Roll 3 dice. 3 successes for that.
Okay, that's easily enough to rip that off, and then give me that same roll to stab a pig.
And what was that? So like strength athletics for the stab?
It's the same dice pool.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. So that will be a strength plus, let's call it 3.
Strength plus 3.
Yep.
Uh, 4 successes.
All right. So you jab it into the side of the squirming, squealing pig, and it sinks in, but not very deeply. It soaked a good portion of that. All right. So now, Breaker, give me a strength brawl roll at 6. Because he is
And
trying
wound
to...
put.
Go ahead.
And wound penalties.
Yes.
Huh. Said 6.
Yep.
4.
Okay. The pig got 7. So it, after it gets jabbed in the side, you've been flailing it around, putting it between you and silver bullets. Its rear legs kicking like crazy. It whips its head around, breaking from your arms, and lands in front of you. It, on this next turn, is going to try to gore the shit out of you because it's not happy with you. Sage and Linda, what will you be doing this turn?
I will be attempting to
How many more enemies do we have on the ground in front of us?
You
One
have
pig
a,
and one BSD?
you have a skull pig and whatever it just dropped.
Whatever it just dropped. Well, it seems like Breaker has the pig under control.
No, it just broke out.
Yeah, it just broke out.
After taking a hail full of bullets.
I really want to take down this helicopter.
So do I. And I have a really dumb thing I wanted to do.
Go ahead.
Don't think I can do it. I want what immediately came to the brain space is grabbing that pig and yeeting it to the plane.
The living one?
Or, like, you know, whichever one would be most effective. Like, I can yeet a dead one.
These dead ones weigh a lot. Your common sense
Thank you.
tells you that you will be hard pressed to chuck 2,000 pounds of pork 100 feet in the air.
But if you do get in the air, it's really hard to avoid. He's like really big.
Improbable, not impossible.
Yeah.
Not the same thing.
It's something that would be very impressive if you pulled it off, but you are talking about literally a ton of meat.
So what we're saying is the pig is very thick.
Thick with like 11 C's.
11. I love that. Thick with 11 C's.
Not
The next
10.
5 minutes is just
11. Now, there is still another BSD body, or there is a skull pig that can be broken apart to make projectiles.
Could I yeet that 2,000-pound pig at the BSD?
Well, the BSD is dead already.
Oh, I thought he was still alive.
There's a BSD corpse
All right.
and a skull pig corpse, and then a living skull pig right near you. Then there's the gunship helicopter that has a first team hanging off of it who were shooting down at you guys. And then there was more of the transport helicopter, which has dropped its payload and it is now banking and turning to leave. And then there is whatever it dropped that fell kind of over on the other end of the clearing, and whatever it was hit the ground, and it's not moved yet, or not that you can see anyway.
All right.
I'll be an all-out run for the cage.
Did you drop the tusk when you stabbed the?
It's. I think it's stuck in its face.
No, you still got it in your hand.
Okay. All right. So I still got the tusk.
Linda, you're gonna charge out at whatever dropped.
Whatever dropped.
Yep.
If it's another Black Spiral Dancer, then I will have at it. If not, I will assess when I get there.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Linda.
Okay. Fraser. Excuse me, Fraser. There's a pissed off skull pig next to you.
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. God. I have no real abilities that let me throw shit very well, so I am just going to not try anything fancy. I'm just gonna go ahead and start clawing the hell out of this thing's neck.
Claw the skull pig. Got it.
Hopefully do my best impression of Ray.
Okay. Breaker.
I am going to drop down to Lupus.
Okay.
I am going to split to bite and dodge the attack since it's attacking me.
Yep.
And I am going to use a rage to take a second attack on it.
Okay.
Yes. Is it too late to spend a
Nope.
rage?
Nope. You can do that.
Yeah, I'd like to make a second attack as well.
X2, attack X2. Okay. So, Breaker, go ahead and split your pool, whichever is the smaller, between Dex and Athletics for the dodge, or Dex and Brawl for the attack.
I know there's a restriction about Gnosis. Is there also a restriction about willpower?
You can spend 1 willpower per action, I believe. but not the restriction of rage and willpower on the same turn. I don't do that.
Okay. I'm going to willpower the attack roll.
Okay.
So that is 4 successes on the attack.
Okay. So you are you're biting in Lupus, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So that's going to be strength plus. We got 4, so strength plus 4.
Two for 6 damage.
How well he soaks. Not that well. He soaks 3.
When you soak the hail of bullets and getting stabbed and everything else, he's got to fail sometime.
Yeah. Okay. Frazier, go ahead and roll your attack against the Skull Pig.
Dex plus Brawl, yeah?
Dex plus Brawl for the 6.
Should change the difficulty. Good. Oh, jeez. Yeah, 1.
Okay. 1's all you needed. And you're clawing, so strength plus 2.
Still difficulty 6.
Yes.
6.
Oh God. I got 1 for his soak. So yeah. And you said you were going for the
pig,
throat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Breaker came in low and got it distracted. It turned its head to try and track him, and you come in from the other side and just same thing that Ray did earlier or Sage did earlier. You just come in and your claws just take its head clean off.
Hey, look, I made a discus. I learned that from Ray.
Okay, so the helo is kind of overhead gyroscoping around, starting to stabilize. But more importantly, Ray,
Yes.
Sage, and Linda are charging across the opening field. And you come running up and you see something that makes your heart skip a beat. Each of you gain a point of rage because what you see before you is a corpse of a woman that is deflated, I guess you would say. And crawling out of the back of this corpse is something out of a nightmare. Mottled mold green and maggot white, its body plump, segmented, flexible, with collapsible flesh and many jointed limbs. Its face consists of 2 perfectly human eyes, which can change colors as they do. Set in the midst of a puffy flesh and a great sharp-fanged lipless maw. 2 long, slender-tipped tentacles extend from the flesh of the thing's lower back. They, as you approach, those 2 tentacles rise up and begin to dance over its shoulders. As it stands up on 2 legs that have joints where joints shouldn't be. And yeah, that's that round. So back to the top.
So I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your rage action.
My split or
yes,
well,
you guys
split action and rage.
Yes. So you guys, Frazier and Breaker, both have your rage actions yet left. Breaker, you have a skull in your hands. Just to remind you. Breaker, what would you like to do with your rage action?
So I was splitting to dodge the attack that never came.
Yep.
So do I just lose that split?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna throw something at the fucking helicopter.
Okay. Would you like to throw a Black Spiral Dancer corpse, or some chunk of one of the pigs?
I'm still trying to figure out how I would like to do this, since can I use my split to roll to get into Krynos again? Since I didn't have
that you can do with a roll or a rage for free, because that's a reflexive action. What I will allow you to do is your split for that dodge that you didn't use. Nope, with a dodge that you didn't use, that split, I will let you use that to tear a chunk off of one of the pigs.
Okay.
Because that's a dex athletics. It's close enough to a strength athletics.
All right. So I successfully shift. You said you wanted dex athletics on that, or strength athletics?
Just whatever the pool you rolled before was.
One success.
We'll call this the other half of your split action from earlier.
One success.
That's all you needed. So now the throw is going to be strength athletics at a 7.
Can I willpower this one as well?
Absolutely.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. Oh.
With the willpower that makes 7.
Okay.
Maybe I should ask after rolling.
And the pilot gets 4 successes. You did 7?
7.
Yeah. Okay. So that the ham hock that you just ripped off of that skull pig goes sailing up, and as much as that pilot tries to juke and dodge, doing that with several thousand pounds of spinning rotor and other things is not all that easy. And despite his masterful piloting, that ham hock slams into the rotor on the back of the helicopter, and it starts to spin out of control. Frazier.
So did I see the...
You guys see...
I saw the thing drop, right?
Yep, and you see now, you can see, look over there and you see what looks like a person, because at this distance you can't really see the tentacles. It's got, arms and legs and a head, and it's standing a few dozen yards in front of Sage and Linda.
All right, I'm gonna toss a hog head over their heads and see if I can't make it to the person.
Well, do this for me. Make a willpower roll. So not your current willpower, your total willpower at an 8, please.
Willpower 8, got it. Oh, I double clicked you, I swear. Nah, nothing.
Okay. So you, and it's not able to get your mind to switch gears quick enough to chuck it.
Okay. Hey, I can't look a free thing in the mouth. You're gonna let me do something, I'm gonna try and do it.
Absolutely. Oh, we were supposed to be just declaring, weren't we?
No, this was the rage round. So.
Oh, that's right. This was the rage round.
Technically, he should have declared before I went, but
yeah. All right. So the pig is dead. The helo is going down. Sage and Linda, there is a thing in front of you.
I don't know what the hell this thing is, but I don't like it. Come up. I'm gonna keep running forward and just tackle the thing.
Okay.
In hopes that Sage can get some easier swipes in on it.
Okay. So you're gonna try to tackle it, and Sage.
What I think I want to do is
Yeah, I'll just keep going until you.
All right. So, depending on how successful Linda is, what I would like to do is some dirty fighting. I would like to curb stomp it. Or perhaps body slam it. Wait, curb stomp. Yeah, curb stomp.
Curb stomp. Okay. Frazier.
I'm gonna try making it there and see if I can't take a swipe.
Okay. You can make it there, but you won't be able to attack.
All right. If I can't make it there right now, then I'll hang back like 20 feet.
Okay.
If I can't get an attack in.
Okay. Breaker.
So the helicopter is completely out of the picture?
Yeah, it's going down.
Okay. I'm going to shift into Lupus, run over, and I'm going to use the range to attack the thing.
Okay. Okay, and it is going to attack, one attack on Sage and one attack on Linda. So, switch over here. Scroll down. There you go. Book of the Word. That's what I'm looking for. All right. 3 attacks. 3 successes on Sage. 2 successes on Linda. All right, Sage, soak for me. Linda, soak for me.
One for me, one for Linda.
Okay, you take 1 point of lethal.
Uh, 3 successes.
Okay, you fully soak it. What you two see is those tentacles have been kind of dancing over her. She just starts walking towards you as if she's going to walk right between the two of you. And those tentacles, one lashes out and spears into each of you, catching you kind of right in the peck. And as they pull out, I need both of you to make a stamina roll at a 9.
So, okay.
Wait, hold on. God.
Stamina roll at a 9. No successes, but not a botch.
Okay.
All right. So wait. So that'll be 5 dice.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I get to roll with 3.
Well, you were in Krenos, weren't you?
Yeah, but I got a whole bunch of.
Oh, those don't count on this.
Oh, they don't?
No.
I thought the wounds were for everything.
It's for actions. This is a reaction roll.
Yeah.
Essentially, you don't lose dice from your soak roll.
No, no.
Oh, this is just a soak?
It's essentially a soak. It's versus the toxin. Because as that pulls out, you see this green ichor pouring out of the wound.
Well, if that's the case, then I have 1 success.
1 success. Okay. So you guys, both of you managed to fend off the neurotoxin, and you are not paralyzed for the rest of the scene.
Yeah.
Yay! Yeah, I got 4 successes.
Baker, you come charging up. Frazier, you come charging up. Linda, you're going to try and tackle it.
Yeah. It's probably a bad idea now, but oh well.
Can I make a willpower roll to change where I'm going?
To what did you want to do?
Seeing like the tentacles come out and like stab them. Frazier, knowing that he's not great with this sort of stuff, would want to grab like a tree that's like 2 inches thick and King Kong versus Godzilla and just like strip off the leaves and try and throw it like a javelin.
So you were using your action to just get over here? Yep. So you get over here as you see that happen.
Okay.
So there's not really enough time for you to really do anything the rest of this
fair.
turn. Next turn, though, yes, you absolutely can. All right, so Linda, tackle. Dashing towards his opponent, the attacker smashes full force into her. Tackles are risky. Using one's own self as a battering ram can backfire. So Dex Athletics, difficulty 6, opposed by...
Oh, difficulty 6?
Yep. Now this you do lose your dice from.
I thought this was difficulty 7.
Oh, that's
So,
after the fact. Sorry, that's
so,
to stay
yeah.
up. Yes, so difficulty 7. Yes, you're correct.
Oh, okay. Can I use a willpower to negate my
Your wound penalties for the round?
penalties for the round?
You can use a rage.
I will do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to roll that manually. I wish there was a button on the sheet that says take off wound penalty. What am I rolling? I'm rolling. I hate my life. That's a botch.
That's a botch. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to say that let's see here. Would-be attacker who botches, trips, and falls, inflicting 1 die of damage upon himself for every yard he ran. Slams into something else, crashes into his target and bounces off, leaving the target unharmed. Okay, yeah, we're gonna say you slam into her.
Fantastic.
So you
I
take
plan all along.
Aha, you fell for my trap.
2 points of bashing, but I'm going to say that she manages to get one of her tentacles into you. So give me a stamina roll, difficulty 9.
I gotta roll this one back. Zero.
Okay. So you are paralyzed for the rest of the scene.
Yay.
Linda,
That
you were
was
going
me.
to curb stomp.
That was Linda.
That
Oh,
was
sorry.
Linda.
Sage.
I know
You're
it
gonna
was
curb
so
awesome.
like-
So you're going to need to.
Curb Stomp needs an immobilized target,
Yeah.
I like that was
and it takes 2 actions. So it would
Yeah.
be 1 round to set it up, and then the second round to Curb Stomp.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was my plan if Linda had been successful.
Okay, so
Even if
just
Linda was
claw.
successful, it still wouldn't have happened this turn.
Just a claw then.
I'm going to I'm gonna do a haymaker.
Okay.
Fighting dirty. That is 2 successes, so I do not believe I am successful.
There's haymaker.
Yeah. It's under my dirty fighting.
Oh, that's right. You've got that sheet that has the extra stuff at the bottom. That's right. Okay. Go ahead and roll your strength damage on that.
Alright, that would be...
That would be your 6 dice.
Four successes.
Okay. Soaks 2 of that. Okay. That's the end of the round. So, Sage, what will you be doing the next round?
Rage actions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Breaker, rage action.
Anybody else do rage or?
Just you.
Okay. I'm gonna.
You were gonna
I'm now
attack.
in range to leap and bite at it.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to shift into his foe. That was 4 successes on that. Right now that's 9. 5 successes on that, so that's 9. And then you wanted it's Dex and Brawl or Strength and Brawl?
Dex and Brawl. And his foe is a 5 on the bite, I believe.
One, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10 successes.
Oh god.
Yoink!
Alright, she soaks about half.
I
of
thought
that.
that was just the hit, not the.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
sure.
God. Okay.
So that is 6 plus 9 dice. So
Yes.
hold on. Let me just get more. I have a bag more dice somewhere around here. One, 2, 3, 4. Nope. 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 Ones. Oh, no, that's a 7 on my right, so go there. 5 damage.
He soaked 5. Alright, so
Wait, have to roll. Nope, yeah. I forgot the bite damage from the teeth.
oh, okay.
Still, that came up as a 4 and a 5 though, so that there's still only 5 damage.
Okay. Alright, so Linda is paralyzed. Sage, what are you gonna do?
So I was not successful in like knocking this woman down.
No.
As I suspected. I have a feeling John knows what that team is from.
Are you just going to attack it?
Hold on. I found what I was looking for. Okay. Okay. I am going to low blow.
Okay. Frazier, you were going to make a spear.
I mean, depending, like, can I just grab a tree and swing?
You want to rip a tree out of the ground and throw it at them?
Or just grab a big stick? Really, whatever's around me, I don't know.
Well, you're kind of in a clearing, so you would have to go kind of past it to get to the tree line to find something like
Okay.
that.
Shit. God, I really don't want to get in melee with this person. But I'd have to go past it anyway, I suppose. If that's the case, I'm just gonna run up and attack it.
Okay.
Yep.
Breaker.
Yeah, I'm gonna bite this thing again.
Okay.
And I still have rage. I'm gonna do a second attack on this fucker.
Okay.
I didn't pick up rage when I saw it because I already was in combat, right?
The two of you, Frazier and Breaker, as you arrive, it was more of it climbing out of somebody's body that was the thing that got them the rage.
Okay, so I'll give spend that rage then.
Okay. All right. It is going to split its action, and it is going to try to sting. Let's see, Sage and Breaker, because you two are the ones that are up in its face. So let's do Sage first. One success. Breaker, 2 successes. Okay. All right, so Sage, go ahead and roll a soak for me. You're taking 2 points of lethal, so I don't anticipate you failing. Breaker, you're taking 2 points of lethal, so go ahead and soak that. And then I need each of you to make a stamina roll at a 9. Okay. Is that your soak, Sage?
My first roll.
Okay.
Yeah, one soak.
So you take 1 point of lethal.
All right.
Okay.
And then roll what again?
And then your stamina at a 9. Okay. All right, Breaker, Frazier, and Sage. You guys are all attacking, so go ahead and make your rolls.
That's 8.
Do you want the result right now?
Yes.
6 for my Dex plus brawl.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the damage, which I believe you're going to claw, so that's going to be strength plus 7.
8 damage on the for me.
Okay.
I'm also. Oh.
Two successes.
Strength plus 3.
Strength plus 3.
That would be 4 successes for me.
4 successes, okay.
So 9 dice.
Yes. Okay. So Linda is just paralyzed, standing there. But before her eyes, she sees the forms of 3 werewolves, 3 members of a pack working as a team to charge in, one going high, one going low, and one going in the middle, coming in from 3 different angles as their claws and teeth sink into this bug-like form and shred it into pieces. Silence falls over the clearing. For the first time, you guys realize that there is silence. The screaming and bellowing and wailing of Sawyer has gone away. As you turn back to look towards that small mound of earth in the middle of the clearing, the ground shakes. And that mound explodes outwards. And coming up out of that ground is what can only be described as, well, exactly what it is. A werebear, 20 feet tall, with thighs as big around as redwoods, arms nearly as large, is a werebear in full Krenos war form. And it charges across the area towards you. As it gets closer, it slows down and stops. And a nose from a head that is the size of, well, nearly one of you in Krenos form moves forward and touches the side of Sage's head and licks her.
Aw.
Then rising back up to his full height, Sawyer shrinks back down to his 7 foot tall human form. Thank
Sage will also transform back.
Thank you, each and every one of you, but particularly you. Without your assistance, I don't believe that grandmother or myself would have survived. You have done both of us a great service. And that's where we're going to end. Over the river and through the wood to grandmother's hovel you went.
Okay.
Shit! Yes, I'm very good with words tonight. Holy crap.
What word do? I don't know.
You guys handled that really well. I kept throwing stuff at you because I was like, okay, eventually they're going to get in over their head and he's going to have to come out and save them and have his dramatic entrance. But you guys actually did really well and took care of everything.
Say everybody else did very well. Linda just threw stuff and threw herself
Linda
at
did
other
really
things.
Yeah. I mean, I had to pray to RNGesus and sacrifice my firstborn or my secondborn to get my dice rolls. So you really don't want to go there.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and watching our story unfold. Our pack of fresh, new Daru not only succeeded in their task, but they also saved 2 of the incredibly rare Garal, the healers of Gaia. I was wondering if you guys were going to pick up on some of the clues. I think Zach might have. Zach picked up on what was going on with Sawyer. So Sawyer had what's called a howling insanity spirit attached to him. And what they do is they attach to werewolves or Farah and they drive them insane. And they turn them into essentially unkillable murder machines. But
I mean, hey, my theory was right. And as a new guy coming into this, not knowing anything about it and having a correct theory about he was being tortured by a spirit in the Umbra, you know what? I'm going to take credit for that. I don't get many of them. I'm taking this one.
John did figure it out. That is correct. So
You could have told our spirit healer about that.
I mean,
that might have saved Sawyer some trauma if you had told the spirit healer.
I mean, I did last week.
Spiritually tortured.
But
yeah, I mentioned it last week. Out of character.
But that's a week ago.
That was a week ago, yes. All right. Well, Cubs, I think that's enough for tonight. So we're going to call it a night. We thank you for daring to follow us into the wilds as we strove to delay the apocalypse, and hope you will join us again next time when we play a one-shot of Monster of the Week, which Dwayne will be running. If you'd be so kind as to click follow here on Twitch as well as subscribing on YouTube, we would greatly appreciate it. Special thanks tonight to our patrons and Twitch subscribers. Without your support, the battle to save Gaia would already have been lost. If you'd like to join this illustrious group, you can find the links on our website or contribute to the cause by purchasing some branded items in our new merch shop. In addition, we wish to once again extend our thanks to Onyx Path Publishing, Astral Tabletop, at Nate Mid for our custom Astral Tabletop character sheets, and finally to White Bat Audio, Mayu, Ghost Stories Incorporated, Dark Somnium, and Darren Curtis for some of the awesome music gracing our ears during this adventure. Finally, I wish to thank my wonderful players. Please tell the viewers who you are and where they can see you before next week.
So again, I am Dwayne. You guys can find me on the internet at Made of Kimchi, and the next time you can see me here on Vorpal Tales will be... Wow. Next Friday? Such a long time.
Holy, you got a week off,
I
Dwayne?
have a week off.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Who
What are you
pressed
gonna
you
do with
into
yourself?
that?
So, and I need to double check my schedule, but I'm pretty sure not till next
I need
Friday.
Like, can you take your temperature over there? Do I need to call somebody? Like,
Wait, next
know you're
Friday,
you're
Yeah,
not
this is my weird lull in between shows.
you know you're
As in the
supposed to hurt
13th?
yourself to death, right? It was in the contract. No, I'm kidding.
next Friday being 13th is when you're back then?
Is it the 13th?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well,
Yeah.
this coming Friday
Would be the 6th.
Oh.
6th.
Okay. So
As in the next time that
okay,
will come
next
Friday, but the-
next Friday you will see me running Contagion Chronicle.
I think you're, yeah. Zachary and Elder, he, him. You can find me on the Bird app at Zach Rules. My name is listed down here below. I've got community content that I have published. There's links there if you want to click on those links and buy stuff to see them. I would like that. Next time you will see me is Tuesday, playing Squeaks and the Deep. And if you terribly missed me playing Werewolf, there are now 2 episodes out that I did with the Werewolf podcast. So that is at Werewolf the podcast.
And you're a brand new, fresh change there as well, right?
I am super fresh changed.
Super fresh. Like, yeah, okay. I started listening, but I haven't had a chance to make it through the full first episode yet.
Yeah. We've been playing for since January, and my character is about 2 months into his first change.
Those are always fun stories.
What
Best
what auspice are you?
Ragabash.
Hi, my name is Ray Alexa. You can find me on Twitter at RAChastaway. You can see it right there. You won't see me again until next Saturday when we play that one shot. And I will look forward to seeing you then.
All right, and then I'm gonna click my mute button and then unclick it again. That's gonna be me, J3Billion, otherwise known as John. Gonna have to put Frasier on the shelf for the moment. I was really honored to be a part of this with you guys. It was awesome. Also, I managed to somehow start the charity and shut the charity down. Proud of that. Proud of all the money that was donated. Proud of all of our fans. You guys fucking rock. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you very much for all of the donations. We absolutely destroyed, I think, everybody's expectations. What did we end up at?
The final number is 3,425.
Now, that was 3,400. Was that the last goal, or
3,400 was the last goal, the last
fantastic?
milestone.
Wonderful. You guys are amazing.
And what was that milestone?
What was that one?
That was a
yes, join our
a
Discord.
yeah
because
raffle
we will
to choose a DM to run a one shot.
Yeah, so join our Discord so that you can interact with all of us, as well as get into contests and votes and stuff like that we have over there. So somebody will probably be throwing a link to that somewhere. Otherwise, it is on the vorpaltales.com website. So, but last but not least, I wish to give a shout out to Tabletop Titties. They are a queer and feminist TTRPG podcast and streaming group run entirely by people of marginalized genders. Their second season of their D&D show, Into the Revelia, follows our heroes from season 1 as they take on Hit Point Press's hilarious horror carnival module Heckna. I haven't played Hackney, but I played Humblewood, and it's fantastic. So I trust that it's very good. They play every Tuesday live at twitch.tv/tabletoptitties at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and an edited podcast form every Friday. Their second show, Titties by Night, is a Vampire the Masquerade V5 show starring a coterie of supernatural investigators as they solve mysteries in Victorian London. Catch all the vampiric action Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Pacific on Twitch and in podcast form on Saturdays. For more information, visit tabletoptitties.com. And remember, every time we say titties, it's with double D's. But our fire is burning low, so we will call it a night. Until we see you again with another werewolf story, tuck in, and remember, don't let the worm bite. Oh, and raid. Who are we raiding?
Who's our raid for tonight?
Thank you, Zach.